Hello and welcome to another Shoutcast SupremeCommander 1v1, and yeah, I got this map of the replay vault, and it is Black Death versus Morax. As you can see already, it's a little bit of a mismatch. Black Death is ranked about 50, Morax about 80, so definitely the underdog, but don't count him out yet, because this is a fairly long match on a fairly small map. This is map Hollow, hasn't been featured yet. It is a nice white map, completely devoid of all vegetation. Not entirely true, because we do have this is rocks. This is not vegetation, these are rocks, but these are they appear to be dead trees. I don't think they're just hibernating or just lost their leaves because of the winter. I think they're just dead because some Armageddon happened here. Morax has queued up most of his buildings already, which is hopefully he knows exactly what he's doing. 3 mexes, so that's going to disrupt most of the general build orders. There's a nice hydrocarbon out. Black Death hasn't queued up quite a huge build order yet, but definitely being more aggressive. So we have the high rank player being more aggressive. This is a fairly typical thing to see, although that's not entirely true because we've got a nice mech marine out of our UAF player. So these things should start clashing soon. Everything seems to be going fine. Yeah, economy is stable. Okay, so that's nice. Okay, so I'm still quite new at this casting business, and I enjoy it, and it's fun, and I like it, and I'm pretty stoked that people actually watch my videos, which is still kind of surprised about, but that's pretty cool. I'm aware the video quality isn't as good as it should be. I need to figure out how to make that better. Obviously, it can be done because people do it. I just need to figure out how to do it. I'm using some software called OBS Open Studio or something that just lets you record the video and upload it. It's pretty straightforward and easy to use, which is why I'm using it. So if you guys know of any easier, better ways of doing these videos, please let me know in the comments. Tell me, and then I'll do that. Otherwise, it'll take me some time to figure it out in between work and all of life's other commitments to try and how to do video quality better. But it will happen eventually. It will happen. But in the meantime, I still like to cast, so I'm doing that, and that will improve in time. This is quite an interesting map. Hollow, nice snowy white. But I like the way the resources are laid out. We've got 3 mexes here, which is a little bit unusual. 3 mexes there, a little bit unusual. We've got a hydrocarbon quite far away. Also hydrocarbons in the other parts of the map. So, ooh, this is interesting. This mech marine has gone right into the base. Somehow seems to circumvent all the other things. So maybe this is a lesson. Build some radars. Because, yeah, Black Death did not build any mobile radars, which I think is punishing him. Because if he had built some mobile radars, he could have caught his mech marine and maybe intercepted him and not lost engineer that was dead like the way it is. Not a bad choice to put the hand next to the mech boss, because no doubt Morax will send an engineer right into the jaws of... not really a jaw, more of a phallic protrusion that shoots pew-pews, but pew-pews of death. So, good mech marine, got 1 kill, and if he gets another kill, he gets a veterancy upgrade, and we all know how important veterancy upgrades on mech marines are. Yeah, okay, you're about to make a poor life choice. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna get built, but you know, optimism and hope. So the players are very equally, almost exactly equal in economy. Yeah, position, that's okay. Building the PD before the max, I would have done the other way around, but yeah. Also note, it's always probably a good idea to build the walls first and then the PD. The walls go really super quick, and if you have the walls up and they try and damage the PD, then they can't because the wall's in the way. So always best to build walls first, because if you get attacked while you're building the PD, then they damage the PD, stop shooting the wall. Bomber out, let's see him do some good work. That would be nice. No, those are the strikers. What about the mech marine? Is that the mech marine? Yeah. This mech marine has been microed out of the hell and gone. He went up here, he shot a thing, he ran back here, and now he's running back up here again. The moment's going to get killed for sure. Get the engineer. Oh, ooh, gunship. Spectre. Jester. Well, he's gonna jest with him. Did you do your thing? He did his thing. So that's nice. Do we see in T2? Yeah, no T2. Probably gonna see upgrades on the commanders at some point. How are you here and how are you alive? How have you... well, not much longer, Mr. Snoop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... about 8 red lasers? Ooh. So... yeah, early in the game, it's still quite viable to micro your little thingamajigs. Oh, this is going to be pretty. Or not pretty, depending on your perception. But another bombing run, and that'll be nice. So, is he going to get them again? I think he is. I think he is. There we go. I like that a lot. More than I should, but I did like it. Okay, so Morax has realized this hunter was a thing. So yeah, just gonna speed up the game a little bit. I just find that it helps to shortens the length of the cast really, and gives you more things to talk about, and doesn't really affect the gameplay at all. So I think it's probably a little bit just upping the speed, maybe speed 1, maybe speed 2. I'm still trying to figure out what I prefer. Otherwise, yeah, games can turn into a long cast, and I don't know if that's always necessarily a good thing. And the replays do allow you to speed up the game speed, and I possibly think it's better, but we'll find out. A nice land force here assembling. I'm not quite sure where they're going to go or what damage they're going to do. Definitely more than what Morax has at the moment. Commanders are posturing in the middle. I don't know if they can see each other, but there's still time before this gets there to start pressuring. No economy built up here, mostly all in the south, so that's a little bit interesting to note. So I think it's time to see some tech from these players, whether or not it's a T2 mechs or a T2 land factory or a com upgrade. I definitely think it's viable and time to see that happening. How Morax is getting units in places they just should not be, that did not belong there. I don't know what he was trying to do or what, but ooh. That's not going to happen. Well, I don't really, it wouldn't have helped, but if there were walls here, that would be alive for quicker and maybe viable to rebuild it at some, who knows. But not this time. Things are posturing. Got nice force coming down here. Surely, no. Oh. Getting some air factory up and running, or more, just land factories, more land factories. So okay, so Black Death is we're definitely quite hard into the T1. Things are definitely about to explode. You never want to run T2 into a commander because that's just going to feed veterancy and mass. These are mass presents, if I can. Square plus control shift that shows up how much. There it is. Why did it work here and not there? So yeah, mass presence. And these guys killed a mechs, but they're not going to do much. In fact, they're just going to leave their corpses. Which, as we know, is a present because corpses are harvestable in the Supreme Commander world. So you always want to be able to control the mass field, as I always say. Ooh, yeah, it's nice. It's just, ooh, that's a nice trick, how to just drop one engineer at a time. One there, one there, one there, one there. One engineer here, there, and everywhere, building little mexes efficiently, so you can get your economy advantage on your enemy, and then blow him up in fiery death and pleasure. So we're deep into T1 play. Shooting the hills, never a good idea. Always better to shoot your enemy in the face rather than the terrain. Really committing to the Mantis play. So I would really like the gun upgrades on the coins. I think they'd be super viable here. You get veterancy and you just get to bully, right? Especially if you get a range upgrade on your commander and you can just get damage down and you can get stuff done. And you get engineers to reclaim the mass, and everything is just better when you can get the gun upgrade on, especially on small map like this. You can just like have your commander here and you force a response when you play, because he can't just ignore you. He has to respond somehow, otherwise you can just walk into space, and probably not the best idea, because 4 bombers hit there, and so much power is just dead. But that's probably not going to happen, but it could happen. So this is really annoying, got these little suckers running all over the place, so really putting the pressure on both players' micro, trying to just control the map. We're still in T1. TML on this map I think is super viable, except there are no targets, because you don't want to use a TML on a T1 max or a T1 line factor, so it's a waste of resources. Jesters are getting work down here without air superiority. These Jesters just have more than enough time to just do what they need to do, going 2 kills, but without any help they're just gonna kill them all. And Interceptors, you want to get some work done, but I don't know if you have enough. I think blue has more enough interceptors than red, so that's not really going to work out very well. A nice mass of T1 here. What are your commanders doing? Why are they... If his commander was with these guys, that would be a really powerful force. But we've got a T1 PD, which is going to not have much trouble here. Yeah, I don't know how players do this. They got like a whole bunch of Mancers and 2 Medusas, and how you keep that just a thing, just having that right kind of ratio. Because you don't want too many Medusas, you just want there to be more than one to deal with any PD that you may happen across, and there it is. Another nice trick is to just build 9 concrete blocks in a row. On radar, it looks like a PD, but it is not, and that can delay your opponent because he's like, hey, I need to bring a Medusa to deal with those 9 concrete blocks, and he doesn't because they're concrete blocks, but he still waits because they look like a PD. So it's a trick that some players do, some players do not do it, some players do it quite a lot. It can be effective. This died, probably a T1, so not really important. Still all in T1. Are we in T1 here? Still all in T1. A few power plants still burning, because, you know, that's not a problem. Nothing could possibly go wrong having the volatile power plant burning. But SupremeCommander, that is actually fine. So both players, I mean, this is a small map, right? So we really expect a lot of T1 play, because if you don't invest in T1, you lose the map control, you lose your command, and you die. So you have to be careful about upgrading to T2, but you will need to. And so you want to be able to upgrade to T2 without losing all your stuff. Yeah, don't land your airplane next to a PD. That's not a bad idea. Ooh. This is an old game, but the graphics are still awesome. It's just pretty. Just I don't know. This game was just... Of all the games out there, this game is still just fantastic. So is Total Annihilation. It's a huge pity we haven't used SupremeCommander 2, but maybe one day. Well, I don't know. Okay, this is the thing, right? You got like a first-person shooter game. You got Quake, and it was a good first-person shooter, and you made it better with better graphics. But then when people play competitively, they just turn all the graphics down. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, how would you make this game better? But people are making this game better because people are constantly working on the balance with all the mods, and FAF is in the community is alive and well, and they are constantly making it better. But I don't know. You'd have to. I really like this game. Basically, what I'm saying is, I don't know how you can make this game better, except just small balance changes. And because introducing new units just makes it really difficult to, or takes a lot more work to balance. And would it really add to the gameplay? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so BlackDeath is getting its priority over Morax's base. Not really sure. This is generally how you want to lay out your power plants, and then explode and damage each other when they die. Fantastic micro. Just keep on throwing little things in the back to get things done and get killed. Good Ripple and Jesters. He's just maintained enough air superiority, so he has a few Jesters just constantly hooning down on these strikers and really paying for themselves, and Morax is going to pay for it. But he has the economy advantage, so he can pay for it. But you don't want to. It's probably a good idea for Morax to take out just 1 or 2 archers, because 1 or 2 archers here just, it not only deals with the Jesters, but it also help deal with the interceptors as well, and they're not too shabby. I don't like this, because with the commander there, these aren't enough to deal with the commander, and oh my goodness, look at that, just start reclaiming, split. Oh, you're right there, you haven't been doing anything. Look at this mass. Oh my god, this makes me, am I happy that there's so much mass just to reclaim, or does it make me sad that they aren't reclaiming it? I feel both of these emotions at the same time. I am a complex individual. I can feel happy and sad at the same time, and it confuses me, but it is a thing that happens. It's pretty. There is a certain prettiness to destruction. Surely you must be heading to T2 now. Something. Go T2. Just, well, you know, they probably don't have the economy to go to T2. That's because they're not reclaiming. Trying. He's trying to go to T2, but then he decided not to. He got the energy stored, so he can now do energy overcharges. This is a... With the commander there, what are you doing? Either shoot or reclaim or build or do something. That's me criticizing the player who is much better than me and can probably whoop my ass, but it's happening. okay, at least some engineers coming out, so maybe they are going to reclaim after they build the radar. Maybe. Radar is important, but you know, so is your economy. Still really deep into the T1 play. Still just as coming out, still doing work. You are. Thank you, Mr. Engineer. You are a hero. You are a new T1 hero because you are actually doing your job as you should. Yeah, just a few artists here makes it really unviable for BlackDeath to maintain incentives over his base, and just, well, I guess he could build an anti-air turret. That kind of works too. It does have the characteristic of not being mobile, but yeah, get some work done. Already got 1 kill. That's nice to see. Some of BlackDeath's interceptors actually are out of fuel, so that means they've been alive for a long time. Okay, got some T1 mobile anti-air, which is nice. I don't think you need more than 2. 2 is probably more than enough. And they're really going to get work done if BlackDeath keeps his interceptors around. So I don't really know if you needed 2. I really just think 1 was enough, because surely he's... Why? Okay, you're just going to... Oh. Yeah. It's completely unviable for him to maintain interceptors up there. What are you doing? You're also being idle, which makes me sad. And you guys are just dying and making this lovely mass field. This is how mining is done in the future. We just build robots and they die, and then we just mine them. Which seems like a totally viable economy. No, it isn't. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Okay, so... trying to go to T2 again. It's a valiant effort, a valiant attempt. Ooh, we're nearly in a T2 max. We're at nearly 20 minutes and we nearly have a T2 max. So that's... Wow, these players are both really respecting each other, not going to T2. It's still a really close game. Morax is a slight economy advantage, even though all his maxes are totally wrecked. But I definitely think BlackDeath has been more cost effective in his units, particularly his Jesses. Really managed to be very cost effective. So yeah, definitely anyone's game still. This commander is starting to be in a dangerous position. If these guys just swarm the commander, probably wouldn't be enough. Not with these strikers here, but definitely a dangerous situation for you to stay in, especially with such low veterancy. Are you doing a thing? Getting an upgrade? Okay, so could be engineering too, could be gun upgrade. It's hard to know. Both are very viable options at this point in the game. I feel if it was going to be a T1 upgrade, T1 gun upgrade, it's really late for that, even though I still like it. It'll still be useful because they're still really deep in T1. But I have a feeling it's going to be a... I think engineering upgrade is probably more viable at this point in the game. So we're about to see... are we about to see? That's an anti-air turret. So I think he was scouted. Or he definitely was scouted because Morax has interceptors running all over his head, so he knows that he got an upgrade. So I guess he just felt like, hey, I'm a sitting duck, I'm standing still, so let me build the anti-air turrets after I stop being vulnerable. So he's no longer vulnerable when he's no longer vulnerable anymore. Ooh, I mentioned this, yeah. I thought it was a very dangerous situation. I mentioned these guys could swarm him in a dangerous situation. I also mentioned that I didn't think he didn't quite have enough to kill him, and it looks like I am being proven right. So that's nice that my judgment is correct. So yeah, a lot closer than I thought it would be though. He is on fire. Yeah. Just build some engineers. So that's nice. Okay, so it's cool that very damaged, very weak, very vulnerable. And he's like, yeah, you're not going to stop me with air because I have intercepts. So that's... There are a few things that I prefer seeing than cost-effective bombs. You just build 1 or 2 and you just drop the bombs on T1. And they can be so cost-effective. It is a bit micro-intensive, but it can be so effective. Look at these T1 heroes. Oh, I think it's... Okay, 3 kills. Okay. Then that's... New. Okay, so he got an upgrade. What upgrade did he get? I don't know. Like, it's... If he's got his gun upgrade, he's not using it. If he's got engineering upgrade, he's also not using it. So... Still T1 Horde. Has he built a T2 Max yet? Okay, we've got a T2 Max here. That's exciting. We have nearly a T2 Max here. That's also exciting. It's not really, but you know, there's a lot of T1 fighting. That's pretty exciting. And still the micro, right? This one Mantis just chilling in the back, getting 5 kills. You are a T1 hero if there ever was one, but not for much longer. Boom. Okay, so the Stalker Bomb is coming through. It got instead lying on the ground. Still T1 massacres, T1 massive. Okay, you want the wall section here, right? This is the most important wall section, but apparently something important, right? So okay, he's actually using his engineering suite, which is pretty sweet. Okay, the engineering suite also gives him more hit points and more hit points regen, so that's nice. But yeah, it took him a while to actually build a T2 thing. So also T2 Cerberus, not usually the expected choice. Generally regarded as not the best T2 point defense of all the factions. The Cerberus is generally regarded as quite inferior DPS and for shooting the ground reasons. Really committing to the T1 anti-air, so I guess he feels really vulnerable to a snipe. I guess he has lost air superiority. We've got T2 land, finally. Hoplites are going to cause some serious issue, so we're definitely going to have to see a response from Morax to deal with this T2, and we have it. We've got pillars, so they both go T2 at almost exactly the same time, which is something that they somehow do because they agreed to it beforehand, or I don't know, but it's generally a thing that happens. Didn't quite get worked done. So yeah, I was praising Morax's T1 bomber use, but I think it's time to let it go. They really aren't doing the dividends as they should deliver. Black Death was a bit too quick on the ball with his interceptors to intercept them, so didn't really quite get the damage done. And Black Death has got these T1 traces all over the map, it just seems, well, or maybe it's just really around his commander. So why did you get the T2 engineering suite? Like, it hardly feels like he's taking much advantage of a law. It doesn't really seem to be using it to leverage any kind of advantage. You think maybe, hey, we're going to put a T2 P-Gen or a TML or something, but that you got an engineering suite for almost just that Cerberus, which really isn't worth it. So we'll have to see exactly how he uses it. I guess some of the options are PD crawl with Cybern is really not a thing that's common at all. But is that what's happening here? If he builds a T2 artillery piece in range of his base, that will cause some very serious issues. A nice T1 force here, but just not big enough to... Okay, sure, he could probably kill this, or we'd have to micro for the PD, because that PD can cause trouble. Even one PD with walls can really cause a bad day for a T1 Horde. So the forces are gathering together in the middle. Hoplites are really going to cause trouble to this. He needs a better response, but at least the engineers are outside and reclaiming. Morax still has a slight economy advantage, but this game is still almost neck and neck. Splits down the center of the map, so what's going to happen? We've got the pillars. I still can't call this at all. We're like 27 minutes into the game, and it's tight. This game is definitely tight. I wonder what's happening here. This feels like a Cybern PD crawl, which is super uncommon. This is absolutely not the ideal place for such an important economic investment. Definitely the back of the base is generally more preferred, not in the front. He could just walk in, and if he sees this, then it's TML time for sure. It would be worth building a TML right now if he just knew that was there. Take it out, or even if he just builds a T2 artillery base to take that out, or just, it's in such a vulnerable position. So I don't like that at all. Maybe more in the back in a less scoutable location, maybe just even behind the PD, or so yeah, okay, I guess maybe that is just where the T2 engineer happened to be, and he wanted to get out as quickly as possible. And how do you get units so concentrated stacked like that? That's almost like impressive, but definitely not good for their health because of splash damages, and it hurts. Why does it burn? it burns because of the burn. Maybe moving a little bit too far forward, the Cerberuses will start keeping these things out of range. So what are you doing? Why did you get engineering suite? How are you going to leverage it? Sure, you got control of this part of the map, and it's not winning you the game. So okay, that's a concerning amount of pillars. Actually, this is. I think it's definitely beginning to get a concentration of pillars that he can really bully himself around the map wherever he wants to go. Another T2 land factory, so again, Rhinos out now. Hoplites here. Rhinos, Wagners. Why Wagners? I don't know why he's pulling a Wagner. Some players like them for their torpedoes and amphibious abilities on a total land map, so definitely another reason why he's pulling Wagners and not for torpedoes. Okay, what are you doing? I am so curious about this guy. Why is he here? And why is he not doing anything? I guess you run away from the things that can kill you, but why did you move forward then? If you, I'm so confused by what this commander is doing. I'm also less confused by this commander is doing because he's wounded, so he should stand in the back. But he's in a vulnerable position, right? If you wanted to rush him, there's not that much between here and here. I guess there are these PDs, so you can kind of run to the PDs, but that's not really a route to safety. So I think his position is super vulnerable, and definitely less vulnerable to all these Cerberuses. Oh, this is a poor choice. If you're going to attack, but you are just going to lose pillars for almost no reason whatsoever. So I don't like that. I guess it's just like a micro issue, like, oh no, I right click on this part of the map, so these guys are just going to have to walk through this fire of the red lasers, and Black Death is going to overcharge and get some kills. And yeah, Morax definitely threw away some units there for absolutely no gain, so that was unfortunate. Losing the economic advantage completely, well, not completely, but he's it's close. Black Death is definitely ahead, and with this force up here, I think it's going to cause trouble. So I think Black Death is starting to crawl ahead in this game. It's definitely, too soon to call it, but it's starting to look like a win for Black Death. Both commanders still super far forward. This is super far forward, so, but I guess he's got this whole army here. T1 bombers are going to hopefully cause some trouble here, and mostly hitting the ground, so don't quite know if... Ooh, this is explosive. Okay, bad battle for Morax to take. He's not going to get through, and he's just going to leave Reclaim, and T2 Reclaim is much better than T1 Reclaim, so... oh my goodness. So hopefully these bombers are going to get some damage done, but I don't think... Oh, they're not going to stop the Mantis Sword, right? You don't use T1 bombers to stop a Mantis Sword, but you use them to get cost-effective kills. But crossing the T of this column of Medusas against pillars is not going to end well for the T1. Yeah, I'm getting super uncomfortable about this commander's position, and he's getting upgrade. Oh, I don't like this at all. I guess he's feeling safe with all the pillars around here, and I guess he's kind of true. He's got the flag, so maybe safe, but if he puts a Cerberus in location of this commander, that'd be super cheeky, and it would be so bad, but could he? Is that possible? It feels like he's PD crawling with Cyber. I guess it's a very soft, weak PD crawl, but it's a... not sure why this engineers got landed here, not next to the Reclaim, so that's... Well, I guess maybe it was for the Interceptors, like, hey, you better land where you can land when the Interceptors are about shooting your face. The Sievers are great, because he doesn't know that they're happening or coming, or probably can't see that they're there, and so he just realizes that he's been shot at, so he's charging them again. Terrible place to fight a battle, because they're just going to kite and just going to lose stuff, and they're going to be wrecks, and he got the gun upgrade, he got it quick, so that was good. But has Morax decided he is in a bad position and going to take a gamble to try? No, he's running back like a coward. I'm worrying for Morax here. He is far behind in economy now. He's definitely lost position, and I think it is time for him to take some serious gambles. He got the gun upgrade, so maybe he's dancing back and forth, some choreographed dance routine that he's rehearsed going back and forth, and now he's going north. So I think he needs to make a decision as to what to do, but I think he has to decide to do something, because if he doesn't do something, he's going to lose the game, and if he does something, he's probably going to lose the game anyway. So rather go for the very low option of success. Yes, gamble and gamble hard and do something. But I think he does have to do something. Oh, this is just gonna more harass. Black Death is not letting go of his prey at all, just trying to maintain his position lead. When you are ahead, right, you don't gamble. You just keep on playing to make sure you somehow stay more ahead. So just keep harassing, keep doing the cost-effective fights, keep hurting the economy, and I think this isn't. Yeah, this is definitely not managed to take out the T2, the pillar. And wait, did he? I'm pretty sure this is reclaim. I don't know how much this rocks are worth, but definitely maybe Morax doesn't know the map so well. I think it's a new map on rotation. I haven't played on this map before, I do not think. Definitely the first time I've casted this map. Hollow, nice snowy map. Another nice thing about the Medusas, especially in such large fights, is that they're a nice like EMP charge, right? So even if the EMP just this has to be the end. You're not coming out of this alive, right? Surely. Like I know you even blocking yourself by your own pillars. Like this is, if you okay. So Black Death playing super cautiously. I think if he charged it, he could have ended the game. But he's like, hey, I'm ahead, so let me stay more ahead. I have no need to gamble here. I can just sit back and do what I need to do, and I will win. And I think he is right. So he's definitely playing by the mantra: when you're ahead, stay ahead. So we are gonna just have to wait and see and figure out how Black Death decides to finish this out. I think Morax is he has to gamble hard, right? He has to do something magical. I don't think he is, because he's got I don't know what this is. This is not the correct. There is no way this is gonna win him the game or even help him anyway. Sure, this is the end. You're just gonna stand there and die. Yep. This is the end. Boom. Ute. I'm not quite sure what he's trying to communicate with Ute, but misclick. Yeah, I think so, Morax, because that made no sense. Why were you building an air factory there? So maybe he was meaning to run away, like the only reasonable thing to be doing, instead of building the air factory. So maybe that was the thing he was trying to do. Okay, so this game stuck on T1 spam for a long time. There was some airplay. We got to T2 mexes very late. There was a lot of reclaim on the map. I think both players, as I usually always say, don't reclaim enough. Maybe I just reclaim too much. Maybe I reclaim too much. Maybe that's a lesson to be learned in all of this. We saw the whole gambit of T2 units from Cybernet. We saw Wagners, we saw Hoplites, we saw Rhinos. No, we did not see Rhinos. We just saw Wagners. Was there a Rhino? Am I smoking? Just Hoplites. Hoplites are really great for kiting, right? We saw much more T1 anti-air static defenses than I think I've ever seen from anyone ever. So just making sure about the snipers, some weird T2 Cyber and PD crawl, which I guess really secured this part of the map, so that was nice. And then it kind of forces the fight into not part of the map, I guess it worked. And then Black Death kind of just made sure he controlled both the map and took us for fights and eventually won the game, because he did. So yeah, thank you for joining me for another Soundcast, and hope to see you guys next time. Okay, bye.